Hi everybody. I want to go ahead and get right to the nitty gritty tonight. I just got finished watching the State of the Union address and wanted to point out a few things that the president said tonight. By the way, great speech from the president. I felt like this was one of his strongest speeches. And I heard there's a new speechwriter in town, so if that's the case, they did an excellent job in helping him put his speech together. But I wanted to point out a few things that he said and try to figure out how it kind of applies to us in our everyday life. Because we're telling our government to kind of get over themselves and put some things in place, but there's no reason to tell our government that if we're not doing that for ourselves in our day-to-day living. All right, so let's get to it. It's my handy dandy paper. It's what I use to kind of keep everything flowing. One of the first things that he said was, the greatest nation on earth cannot keep conducting its business by drifting from one manufactured crisis to the next. And don't we do that sometimes? I know that I do it. Maybe I'm by myself in that. But we kind of invent problems where there are no problems because we are so afraid, that things are actually going well. We're so impatient. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop, for things to go wrong, that we actually cause a problem, manufacture a problem, invent a crisis where there is none. So, as the president was telling Congress, kind of, let's get over yourselves and let's get the job done. Let's get to work. We need to get over ourselves and get to work doing what it is that God put us on earth to do. So, the second thing he said was about us creating products. He said if we want to make the best products, we also have to invest in the best ideas. You know, in our day to day living, are we really willing to put our money where our dreams are? A lot of times we put our money in our Starbucks, we put our money in our designer labels, in our vehicles. We are putting our money everywhere except where it could actually do the most good. We, are saying that we hate poverty and we want to do something about this and we want to do something about that, but we don't have any money. But we have money for, $300 pair of shoes, for expensive makeup. We have money for Starbucks, you know, but we don't have money for our dreams and we don't have money to accomplish our goals. So, my question is simply, is the price of the Starbucks worth the cost of your dream? Um, After that, the president, spoke a lot about global warming, about our environment, and the fact that, you know, um, the 12 hottest years on record have happened within the last 15 years. There is a shift happening in our environment. He says heat waves, droughts, wildfires, floods are now more frequent and more intense. We can choose to believe it's coincidence or science. In our day to day lives, at some point we have to open our eyes and see exactly what is in front of us. And these are the things that we hate to look at. I know I do. I hate to pull my credit reports. I hate, I hate when things are going wrong in a relationship, but I don't want to be alone. I don't want to fight that fight. Um, like I hate that point where I have to see things for what they are. But we're grown, most of the people who read my blog or who listen to me are grown ups. So we have to see, at some point, we have to see things for what they are. And once we see things for what they are, then we can solve the problem. Once we see that there actually is a problem, we can solve it. Um, One of the things I want to end with this, uh, that the president was talking about gun control and making sure that there is a vote in Congress about whether to ban assault weapons and whether to have universal background checks, I am all for it. But when he talked about Hidayah Pendleton and he said she was so good to her friends, they all thought they were her best friend. Wow, wow. That was the moment for me. That was the moment for me. I mean, I had to get the Kleenex out and the whole bit because isn't that how we want to live our lives? You know, look what we can learn from this 15-year-old girl, you know, whose life was tragically cut short, but who lived, you know, who totally lived and put out videos about ending gun violence, who was able to be in the inaugural parade. This girl lived. And we should be living every day of our life, you know, and really just see the blessing that it is to wake up to see another day, but also to live with the thought that, you know, to our friends and to the people who know us, that we're so good to them that they all think that they're our best friend. What a tribute. What a tribute to a life well lived. What a tribute to her parents that they raised a daughter such as this. Um, that was very moving to me. It was the most moving part of his speech to me. And so I wanted to end on that note that in all the things that we can do in our day-to-day living to make our own lives better, regardless of what Congress does or does not do and what our government does and doesn't do. Um, we can live courageously. We can live with dignity and with honor. And we can live the pie life. Positive, innovative, engaging. This is the pie life. Good night.